everybody. Welcome to Elizabeth Jones's Variety Hour.
Hello! Hello from the... I think we're having a rainstorm right now. Hello from the penthouse.
Yeah.
From the penthouse of this wonderful terrace.
Yeah.
This is the... my name is Kaye Lazar. I am your special guest star. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Got the hats going today.
Yes, I got you that for Christmas 2 years ago from Florida.
Yeah. Where'd you get your hat from?
Bass Pro Shops.
Oh, yeah. I remember. I think last show we did, you were talking
Yes.
about what a fisher woman you are.
Yes.
Compared to a lot of my male friends who are old fishwives. Let's see. Well, tell me about this hat.
Well, I went to this place called Capone's, I think.
Capone's?
Like Al Capone. It's a restaurant inspired by Al Capone.
A restaurant inspired by Al Capone.
They had a show. They have shows there and stuff.
I don't think, you want to know something? I don't think they should do that. I don't think they should make a restaurant or something named after a ruthless killer. Ruthless villain.
Yeah.
I mean, Charles Manson Bar and Grill. I don't want to go to any restaurant named after Jeffrey Dahmer. I'll tell you that. Which I'll talk about in a moment. So I guess it was like a checkerboard tablecloths and everything. Yeah. All right, and they I like your hat that you got me. It's I guess it's a pork pie hat, or
Yeah.
it's I think did I wear this in Guys and Dolls? It looks like something I would wear in Guys and Dolls.
You wore a different hat.
I wore a different hat. Okay, because it was all about hats. Maybe it was one of their hats.
Yeah.
Yeah, and these were the hats I always wanted to wear when I was growing up.
Yeah.
And they called them fedoras.
Yeah, that's what it was.
And the problem was after a while, I liked wearing them, and probably in my 20s, you see me wearing these hats a lot.
Yes.
But then I stopped wearing them because I saw every jerk, every Generation X jerk, New Kids on the Block, and
Yeah. Yeah.
who else? Justin Timberlake.
Yeah.
It kind of looks like. They were wearing them. They were like smoking cigars, wearing these hats on the cover of Cigar Aficionado. I didn't want to see any of that. I wanted to look like Al Capone without the scars.
Yeah.
But let's see. But thank you for the hat. It's from Florida.
Yeah.
I guess it's like a Panama hat. A friend of mine wears Panama hats, and he stopped wearing them. He stopped wearing them for a time because he said that the straw in them, I think this is like a straw hat, they would break apart and then start, affecting the skin on the top of your head.
Yeah, like itch.
It itches, and you're constantly taking it off and scratching, and then you put it back on. And say, oh, that's what's up. So he did the craziest thing. He actually got they usually don't have linings to them, so he made himself a lining. He took like an old rag or something, put it in there, and now that's what he wears, and now he has no problem wearing them.
Yeah.
As long as you don't see the rag.
Yeah.
So, anyway, while I still have a good head of hair, I'm going to try to keep from wearing hats as much as possible. I wanted to wear it just because you were wearing a hat.
Yeah.
I got a haircut, so,
Yeah, I love it.
Thank you. I tried to...
I got me a haircut.
You got a haircut.
Yay.
Yeah, see, we got hats and haircuts.
Yay.
We got it all going on. I must tell you that I'm rather... I think they should have cut off more.
Yeah.
I usually get the jarhead look when I get a haircut.
Yeah.
I usually let my hair look like... I usually look like a girl by the time I get a haircut. My dad would say. And then I get the haircut, and then that's that. The idea when I was a kid that I would get a haircut just made no sense at all. I wanted my hair. My dad would say, "Do you want your hair down to your backside?" I said, "Yeah, there's no problem with that." You want to look like Moe of the Three Stooges? I go, yeah, that sounds good. How about Captain Kangaroo? I said, oh, that's the monkeys? Oh, perfect. Now you're talking my language. I didn't want to get a haircut.
Yeah.
But I realized that type of haircut from the 1960s certainly doesn't suit me now.
Yeah.
Mo. I thought Mo had the coolest haircut when I was a kid.
Yeah.
It was the bowl cut.
Yeah.
And I heard in a phone interview by Tom Bergeron from America's Funniest Home Videos and Shows and Dance with Stars. He interviewed him when he was a teenager on the phone, Mo,
Yeah.
and he says, "You have different hairstyles in different episodes of the Three Stooges." He goes, "Yeah, he said we tried combing his hair back, which is how he normally did.
Yeah.
Larry had his hair back.
Yeah.
Curly grew his hair long when they weren't filming stuff." He said that, but they didn't go over very well. So once the camera started running, they had to do their hair again. You know that the guy from I think he's gone now. He was the guy who played Richard something. He was on Night Court,
Oh yeah.
and he was a tall guy with shaved head. He hated having to shave his head, but
Oh.
he had to do that before every season and keep it shaved. I don't know if I could ever do that. I heard that to keep while he was doing that show from the 50s, Ronnie Howard.
Yeah.
He Happy Days.
Yeah.
He had to keep his hair short at the time. He had to have a 50s hairstyle in the 1970s.
Yeah.
And a lot good it did him because now he's all bald. He had the one chance to have long hair.
Yeah.
And he blew it. Let's see. Since the last show we did, we made a movie. And before we talk about the movie, you're in a show right now?
Yes.
You're in rehearsals for a play. Tell me about that.
I'm working on Oliver right now.
Oliver. Yes.
And then next week I have my first rehearsal for the Wrinkle in Time.
A Wrinkle in Time. Is that a musical too?
No, it's not. That's not a musical,
But Oliver is certainly a musical.
And
yes.
you're going to come to both of them too.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Nothing could keep me there.
Yeah.
Nothing could keep me from it.
True,
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I go to shows all the time. I if I invited to shows, I try to go. Certainly, I have enough friends that are in shows that I don't have to go to anything special. I just go to their shows and I enjoy myself.
Yeah.
I went to a show last week, and a friend of ours was in it, Ann Regan,
Oh yeah.
and she was a school teacher when I went to school. She's retired now.
Chess.
And we saw Chess.
I thought you saw that years ago.
No.
You didn't?
Not only have I never seen Chess before until last week, I don't think it's ever played in Richmond before. It was on the London stage, I think.
Oh yeah.
And it was on Broadway, and two hit songs are from there, and one of them is called "One Night in Bangkok,"
Oh, I like that song.
and by Murray Head, I think.
Yeah.
And then it's the beginning of the first act, and you hear that song, and it's I know that song because a lot of those songs, the whole show is sung. It's like an opera,
Yeah.
and the show has it's all about Russia. It's a Cold War 1980s style show, and it's about a chess tournament, and during the course of it, the Russian guy who's the champion
Yeah.
defects to the West, and all that comes into play, mainly in the second act. It also is a more realistic musical. There's no great happy ending to it. It actually, you have to see it to see how it kind of.
Yeah.
It's sort of like an opera, I guess. That's how operas work out.
Yeah. Back in March, I went to see a London play.
Yeah, tell me
I
about
was in London, England, and then I saw called Frank's Closet.
it. Yeah.
It's a really good play. I think it was mostly popular back in England.
Yeah.
I don't think it's as popular as it should be, but it's a good play.
Has it played in America?
No.
No. Okay. Frank's Closet.
Yeah.
You said there was a lot of parodies of shows.
Yeah, like the Carpenters.
Oh, okay.
And
Elvis?
I forgot, I don't think Elvis.
The Beatles,
No.
Rolling Stones.
No.
The Carpenters.
Carpenters and ABBA.
Okay.
And some others, I forgot what it was.
Well, ABBA, I'm glad you mentioned ABBA, because two of the guys who wrote all the songs for ABBA, like Waterloo and Dancing Queen, wrote all the songs in this show. And the big hit from it Well, one night is Bangkok, but then near the end, there's a love song sung between two women.
Yeah.
They're in love with the same man, and I
Yeah.
know him so well. And Elaine Page had the hit in America, in England when I was there living in Europe. But then I think Whitney Houston has recorded it, and it's on one of her albums, and so is Barbara Streisand.
I got to meet the cast actually after the show.
Of Frank's Closet.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And I got pictures with them and everything.
There you go.
And I
Yeah.
posted them on Facebook. So
There you go.
I think you saw it, I think.
Oh, I see everything.
Yeah.
Nothing I don't miss.
Yeah. So.
And so in its own way, the music was written by the same guys who wrote Mamma Mia.
Oh, yeah.
Even though I don't think they really wrote Mamma Mia, they wrote all those hit songs that became the basis of Mamma Mia. But the two guys, Bjorn Ulvaeus and some other guy, who wrote all those music and for ABBA wrote Chess, and the English lyrics, I assume I think they're only English lyrics. There might be foreign lyrics written by Tim Rice, who also wrote the music to the music in The Lion King.
Oh, yeah.
So it has a great pedigree, this show, Chess. And if you get it has a very spare set. There's the costumes are all black and white like chess pieces
Yeah.
and everything. And there's a lot of parts in it. But it's quite the show, Chess. Well, anyway, our friend Anne Regan, who was in the first play we were in,
Yes.
she used to be my my sister's school teacher, and so it was fun having her in the play that we pretty much met in. It's called The Phantom of the Opera. It was a new version of it. And so Anne Regan says hello.
Yeah,
So,
okay.
anyway, and it was the first time of me seeing her in a while. We also saw a lot of people I hadn't seen in many years, school teachers. It was done at my old high school, and so I did it at my old high school. They did it, and I thought it was the seniors put it on, but it was just they just rented out the auditorium for this acting troupe that did Chess.
Oh, yeah.
So when I saw guys with gray beards and older middle-aged women in it, I said, these are really good actors. They are high school students, but they look like old people. So they're not high school students.
Yeah.
They're actors like you,
Yeah.
just happy to be performing.
Yeah.
So tell me, so we did, so A Wrinkle in Time. Be on the lookout for that. Which comes first, Oliver?
Wrinkle in Time comes first.
I mean, you will see that first, and then Oliver
Yes.
comes later. Okay, and Oliver, of course, has the movie is very good. It won Best Picture Oscar, and I was talking in the car on the way. A lot of people I know are in this show. I'm not in the show. But a lot of people I know are in it, and I asked who's playing the Artful Dodger. And the Artful Dodger is, when I was a kid, when Oliver was popular, the movie, and even the stage show, was the Artful Dodger was the most famous part, because Jack Wilde from H.R. Pufnstuf was in it. And then he became a big star. And then sadly, I think alcohol and career problems. He died at only like 50 years old.
Yeah.
And he made a cameo in, I think, one of the Robin Hood films with Kevin Costner. It was so good to see him, even though it was kind of disappointing to see him because he had like his jaw removed and stuff because of cancer and everything. But I was telling Mary on the way over here that the Artful Dodger had it has a little I think. When it was not a musical, but it had Anthony Newley, who is a singer and songwriter, wrote all the music for Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. He played the Artful Dodger when he was younger, and then I think Phil Collins on stage played him, and I think, and of course Jack Wilde played him on stage and in the movie. But what's kind of interesting was that at one time the Artful Dodger, who was a real showstopper in Oliver, was played by Davy Jones of the Monkees.
Oh, yeah.
But this was before he was in the Monkees, and this is the greatest trivia in the world. When the Monkees came to New York to be on the Ed Sullivan Show, Sullivan put all this stuff on before the Monkees. You had to wait through all this stuff, acrobats and dog acts and jugglers. And there was a bit from the London stage of Oliver and Davy Jones was in that number. And then of course, now here's the Beatles. But what's the irony is that the fake Beatles, the Monkees, the actor who played a fake Beatle, a monkey, Davy Jones, years later, actually preceded the Beatles on the same show, on the Ed Sullivan show. So anyway, so that's that was the show, and we did. Tell us about a little bit about the show we did we did a movie that you could find on the internet. We'll try to put it in the comments. Tell us about the movie we made. Like, what's it called? What's it about?
It was called Give Love a Chance.
Give Love a Chance.
Which is like a romance type.
Okay.
And
if I remember right, it's not Give Love a Chance. It has a question mark on the end. It's Give Love a Chance. I think that's how you're supposed to say it. Give love a chance? Give love a chance. Oliver actually has a apostrophe, exclamation point after it. So Oliver goes up. Every time I sign something, I always put an exclamation point. Kevin! Exclamation point. I'm here.
Yeah.
Now tell me about Give Love a Chance.
It's about this love connection thing, and
you're the star of it.
Yeah, and I played an extra.
Oh, you play the lead girlfriend in it.
Yeah.
We're outside it's actually raining out here. I think last time we did a show in the rain was on the cruise ship.
Yeah.
But it's a nice rain.
Yeah.
It's a velvet.
It will pass.
rain.
It will pass.
It will pass. So tell me about the plot of this. It's only like 7 minutes long, right?
Right.
So anyone can watch it.
Yeah. It's about this place where you make a love connection, where you find a date.
You find a date, like a singles bar.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, actually, I'm in this show, so what it is
I am too. So.
But I mean, it's about what they call speed dating.
Yeah, speed dating.
And what it is speed dating is it's a concept, I guess it came about in the 90s.
Yeah.
Maybe it's around before then. Where there's like a dozen men and a dozen women, and there's a dozen tables. And the women, it's usually the women, are sitting at, one woman is sitting at each table. And then the man, there's a timer, a man goes to each one. It's like a round robin.
Yeah. And
after 10 minutes, then they go to the next one, and then they go to the next one. And I think the way it works, it's not explored in the movie, but because it's only 7 minutes long, we had to focus on the plot. Is that either they you give them your phone number and have them call you, or at the end of the date you have a checklist and you say who you want to talk with,
yeah.
and who you don't want to talk with.
Yeah.
Friends of mine have actually been in those situations, like Tinder, which is basically the same thing now. Not interested. Oh gosh, these women. I know something about this, is that they claim that there are certain men and certain women, but certainly the men, that all the women, say there's a dozen women, pretty much maybe 10 of those women will want to date this one man. And then the other 11 guys don't get any votes at all.
Yeah. Give love a chance?
Give love a chance? I guess that's where how pointed that title is.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, I'm in the play. I'm in the movie, and I'm sort of the. It's kind of a serious show, but I'm in it at the very beginning. I play one of the guys that you certainly would not want to vote for, who you certainly would not want to go out with. And it's funny. The first guy, I'll give you an example. The guy before me, they're all friends of mine. The first guy, the actors that is, The first guy is lives with his mom and has a lot of cats. My guy is a rancher who has a lot of children.
Yeah.
And then the third guy is the guy she meets up with, and then you see how that romance goes about.
Yeah.
So, so anyway, I didn't say anything while we were doing the show, but I read the script, and my part was very funny, and I made it funny and everything. Even though I don't think it's really that funny a show. I mean, I don't think it's more of a serious thing.
Yeah.
But I tried to make it funny. I always I do this on other shows like Gorgeous George show and Keith's show and Vinnie Mac, and even this show. I say, well, how do I make it funny? You know, you can't just a guy falls down. Yeah, that's funny. Well, how do you make it funny? You know, well, he falls down and a milkshake falls on his head. Well, you're getting there.
Yeah.
A man trips over a dead cockroach. Now we're cooking with grease now.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm trying to make this funny. So at the end of the show, gosh, I gotta. That's good booze.
That is good.
So anyway, so the guy says he has a crush on the woman, and that's how it kind of plays out. Now, I said, I didn't say at the time because I didn't write the script, and whenever an actor starts mouthing off about the script, he nobody wants to hear him. we wrote the script. We want you to follow it. Okay. All right. So I said, well, one thing about people who have crushes, is that it never works out. It never works out. And I'll tell you why it never works out. And because I think the people who wrote it had some sort of like Disney princess idea of all the men falling in love with them or something.
Yeah.
And just like I've just mentioned, and about only 1 or 2 men get all the votes, and the other 10 men are left by the wayside. Those 10 men are the men who have crushes, and a lot of girls know when men have crushes on them.
Yeah.
They what happens is they try to it's not like in the movies. You were in love with me all the last 20 years, and now you're telling me, and now I never knew that before. Well, guess what? Most women do know this, and they try to avoid those guys because if they were really attracted to these guys, they would be there already. Yeah, they would already be in the picture.
Yeah.
So what happens is it's usually a very sad ending. A lot of these crushes. So it's good to be attracted to people.
Yeah.
And it's good once you're attracted to somebody to tell them right away. So you don't have to put yourself through 20 years of trouble. Yeah. There was a TV show, and I'll never forget this show. I forget what it was called. It didn't last very long. It only lasted about 2 months, this show. I think they wanted it to last for years, like the Newlywed Game or the Dating Game. And it was about people with crushes were meeting the people they were in love with, or they were infatuated with. And what would happen was, this is how the show went. It was a very romantic show. It was on ABC late at night, like at 11:30. And what would happen was, a man would come, dorky guy and he would come with a bouquet of roses or something, and he goes, I'm in love with this woman. I went to school with her, and then I actually moved to her hometown just so I could just see her from afar and all this stuff. And then she got married, and then she got divorced, and then I was going to make my way. Now, it's an awful, sad story, And then what would happen was, then he would go off stage, and then they'd bring out the woman, and the woman would say, oh, I don't know what I'm here for. He goes, well, there's a man who has a crush on you. And she has in her mind all these guys that, gorgeous guys that a guy has a crush on me. I hope he looks like Tom Brady or something. Hope he looks like Tom Selleck.
Yeah.
He goes, now here's your crush, and the dorky guy comes out with the roses. Oh, I love you, I love you, I love you, and I've loved you for the last 20 years. And then they would hug. She wouldn't kiss him, and he goes, well, that's very sweet, she would be like, and I get, and so this would be, it was like a half-hour show every night. This would happen. This would happen for like 2 weeks straight, every night. And I said, this show is not going to last. You could just imagine the producers saying, oh, is there any woman who's going to fall in love with these these dorks?
Yeah.
And there's another show like that called Average Joe's, where it was like a bachelorette type show.
Yeah.
And all the all those guys wear nice tuxedos and the hair and everything and the muscles and everything. And then all these dorky guys came out, and this woman couldn't understand it. At the end, usually it was whittled down like The Bachelor to the last two guys. One was a really gorgeous looking guy, and the other guy was one of the dorks. And the show was only on for 3 years. In each case, she picked the gorgeous looking guy. I said, I think that kind of negates the whole show. Now, I was checking. See a lot of stuff on the internet about dating like that.
Yeah.
And they said that, like I said, there's two. They were talking about Tinder and stuff like that, dating and everything, and they figured out that, and this is really wild. They figured out, like I said, 2 guys out of the dozen or so, like in a speed dating, 2 of those guys get all the attention. And the other 10 guys don't get any attention at all. On the other hand, pretty much all the women got an even amount of attention, That's why I believe that if you're going to be on Tinder or in speed dating or something, just vote for every woman there. Who knows? One of them might like you.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
And if I guess likewise for a woman, pick every man, Maybe, some of them might be schmucks, but they're probably not all that bad.
Yeah.
So that's what you, I think that gives you some sort of an edge, So I'm glad, glad I'm past all that. So anyway, so have you been, so tell me what is this movie, Give Love a Chance? You can find it on YouTube.
Yes.
Okay. And did you have a good time making it and everything?
It was great. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I like making movies, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I tell you what would have been a great ending. This would have been a great ending, for that movie.
Yeah.
I think this is the Heartbreak Kid has a similar ending where the guy leaves his wife actually to meet Sybil Shepherd. He falls in love with a woman that's Sybil Shepherd, and then at the end. He marries the Sybil Shepherd character, but he's kind of disappointed. Yeah. If the Sybil Shepherd character had the same bad habits that the ex-wife did, that would have been funny.
Yeah.
Eating with her mouth open and never taking a bath or something. I mean, that type of thing. What else? So anyway, I think we should do another half of the show. What do you think?
Yes, we're going to take a little break. And may God bless you.